Observing.
Can we get this going?
You can't talk. If I start recording, you can't talk unless you're on the screen.
Fine.
We're live. We're doing it
Nice.
in the flesh.
We're gonna get better and better.
If it doesn't get better, we're gonna quit.
That's true.
I'm gonna quit. You can still show up if you want.
I think the last episode was better though.
It was way better than the first two.
Yep, for sure, for sure.
So, what's been going on?
Trying to make money and get ready for Q4.
What is Q4?
Q4 is when I make all my dough.
Heard that.
Yep.
If you're a reseller and you don't know about Q4,
that's true. And there's actually a lot of people that don't understand Q4. To be honest.
Resellers or
resellers?
Well, it's crazy. It's not like any other time of the year. You make money hand over fist.
We saw, or both of us saw, this lady on Facebook that like she couldn't understand why people would quote waste their time and buy stuff at full price when they should be getting it at a discount, and it's just like, wow, like you're missing out on so much.
I'm pretty sure she was an eBay only seller though. Like I don't think that she, right?
Still doesn't matter though. I mean,
no. It was crazy because she was a little brazen about it. Like she was arrogant about it.
Brazen would be putting it very nicely.
I'll try.
Very nicely.
She's very arrogant.
Yeah, it's just surprising. It's like you're missing out on a whole lot of money.
Not like a whole lot of money, like tens of thousands of dollars if you plan correctly and you spend money like you should.
Yeah, that's true. So you went on a Dallas trip.
I did. We went to Dallas. When was that? Was that last week?
Last Thursday?
Yeah, last Thursday. So Amanda took off. We went and we hit. God, I don't even know how many stores we hit. We didn't hit all the ones we wanted to. We did. We got about half of what we wanted to get, as far as the one item was concerned, the unicorns and all. And the other stuff, there was other stuff that came up that I didn't even know they were going to have. So that was kind of a bonus. It kind of made up for the other stuff that we didn't get.
Without giving away your trade secrets.
Well, then other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Just other toys that are hot that, we didn't really think about getting until we got there. I will tell you that BrickSeek didn't seem to be as accurate in Dallas, and I don't know if that was... It could have been one of two things. It could have been that the time of day that we were there, most of the ones that were inaccurate were between about 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon to about 5 or 6. And it could have just been that somebody had those items in their cart, while we were in the store. I've heard that BrickSeek is usually pretty accurate. I think you said that it updated, almost immediately when your wife was at the store, getting stuff.
It's actually been very accurate. I think last year when we really discovered BrickSeek, like we were kind of disappointed with it because it never seemed to be right, like no matter what it was. But I think part of that was like if you see like a 60-inch TV for $2 and one of your Walmarts says that they have it, they probably don't. It's probably an inventory error. So I think that's really kind of where we were kind of disappointed, because we thought we were finding these super deals, but in reality with some of the toys that have been hot this year, gosh, I mean, literally she'll buy it and I'll refresh BrickSeek and it'll show that it's out of stock. So it's actually been very, very accurate so far, with the exception of a couple. I think there's been a couple stores that have been out of stock when, well, they weren't out, but we also kind of discovered that, number one, if you're, especially when it gets real hot and heavy with Q4, get there 11 o'clock, because I mean that's when they're unloading those trucks. And she was finding stuff.
11 at night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was going pallet hunting, pulling stuff off of pallets. Um, it's still in the box, and when it gets when that one toy is found that everybody's going to be going after, like the fingerlings, like you're going to have to be able to identify that box on a pallet. Like it's not going to
Yeah.
make it to the shelf.
And how? Let's talk about that. How do you identify? What outside of the box shows you? You know what's inside the box, if
Well,
you
we
will.
actually have we actually ordered some an LOL, what are these things called? Um, LOL surprise, the Biggie Pets or something, like a
Mm-hmm.
little box, and it actually came in from Target in its original shipping box.
Nice. So what would have been on the pallet in
Yeah.
the store?
So actually, I can go grab it. Give me just.
While Jeff's doing that, I'm gonna check a couple levels here. So I'm just gonna talk.
Here.
Okay. There we go.
So,
Good deal.
so this is actually what the side of the box looks like.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's what would be at Walmart or wherever. So it says LOL on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Because and it, I know, like, when it comes to like import and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
like they have to identify what's actually inside of it. And I mean, it even has like the barcode, everything you need, item number, and it says it right on there.
Yeah, that one's very clearly labeled. I know some of them are not.
Yeah.
You know, some of them only say, or some of the ones I've seen only say like the manufacturer,
Hmm.
which sometimes you don't even know because it's not the same as the brand name. Uh,
Yeah.
I think LOL's made by MGA. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep. And
And
the and the unicorns are the same way. So the unicorns have, it says poopsie right on the box.
like the branding name, like the
Yeah.
actual logo.
It's poopsie. It's either, and if you look closer, it'll actually say unicorn, or it'll say like the poopsie slime or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
So, but I mean, shoot, that's what it's gonna come down to, because we're at Target this morning, and they have those LOL. They look like they they look like little rolls of ground beef. So this is the under wraps, and it's actually the number one selling toy on Amazon right now.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah, number one. So,
You're holding out on me.
well, inside of this, when you open this up, there's like it's like a slime that you have to like dig through to get to the doll inside. So again, it's like
Really?
tying into that slime, the whole slime thing that's going on right now.
Is it kind of like Dwight Stapler on The
Pretty
Office
much,
in the
pretty
Jello?
much. But if you hear like, but if you watch some of the reviews, like there's a lot of people that kind of, they don't really like the I don't know, something about the slime inside of it. They said it's a real hassle to actually get to the doll that's inside.
So the doll is really something you're gonna play with, or
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And I still haven't quite figured this out, but at least the LOL craze. But it's just these little dolls. So, um, you know, I don't know. It's interesting.
That's man, that company, they're really doing it right.
Oh, they are. They are.
They
So,
they
real
play right.
quick, I want to bring in my wife. She wants to talk about LOL.
All right.
So she's like my little product hunter.
So I was listening to a lady talk about it. She has a 13-year-old daughter who just got one as a gift. And she explained it to me is that you actually like unwrap this and it's kind of like a puzzle. So there's sections and each section tells you a different thing to unwrap and there's codes and everything to it. And then it gets down to it where there's like this rubber slime or whatever covering it. So you will not be able to know exactly what doll you get until you get in there and unlock every single code. There's like bands and everything,
Wow,
every single piece. So it's like a treasure hunt.
Isn't that crazy?
that's cool. That's
Anyway,
cool. LOL, man. They do that on all their products, though, right? Like every,
An unwrapping thing.
yeah.
I just wanted to talk about that. Thank you. Have a nice night.
Nice to meet you.
So she gets pretty hyped up about LOL. Last year we were like the LOL kings.
Oh god, you were taking whole displays from
Yeah,
uh
yeah. We have a LOL display over here full of balls that we're holding on to. Hopefully they'll be they'll get popular. But one of the problem with the balls is that like they come in waves and then like series of like wave one, series one, wave one, series two, and they have each series has just a different type to it. Right now, I think it is nice. I just got approved to sell a product that I've been trying to get engaged.
nice.
Sorry, um, but um, crap. Sorry.
The series 1,
Yeah,
series
so
2.
series one and then series one, wave two or whatever. And it's different dolls, so different dolls, different accessories, different things like that. So
Are they
it's
different UPCs?
yep.
Okay.
And actually, the one that's I think is releasing right now is called Glam Glitter. And if you go to Target.com, they're sold out. But if you put the notification on, like
Mhm.
it'll let you know when it comes back in stock. And I've had probably like 7 emails today notifying me that it's back in stock. And
So it's going in and out, in and out.
in and out, in and out. And every single time I've clicked, it's always sold out. Like
Wow.
so, Glam Glitter is what's
Wow. I'm gonna write that down cuz I glam glitter. I'll be damned.
yeah.
That's crazy that every time so you're going immediately from that notification to check and it's gone.
Yep. And actually, I can I don't know if I can yeah I can screen share. I'll show it to you real quick. Oh, all right. Can you see it?
Yeah. Well, I could if you talk.
Okay.
I
So
wonder if
yeah,
there's a way to lock it on your screen if you're looking at something.
it might be, but it's this one right here. So Glam Glitter, this thing is just constantly out of stock, but you can just click this notify me when it's back and it'll actually send you emails. I wish they would still send you text messages, but unfortunately they do not.
Yeah, text messages would be good.
Okay. Am I off screen share now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good to go. Yeah, see, we're already better. You didn't,
Getting there.
we didn't keep the screen share on forever and all that stuff.
It's really weird because when you screen share, you can't see I can't see the screen share on your I can see myself in the bottom right corner.
Really?
But when I screen share, I guess I'd have to share a different monitor. I've got 3 different monitors. So I guess I'd have to share a different monitor to kind of
Okay,
see. That's why I was asking, like, can I see it? So, but,
I gotcha.
anyways, so, you know, Dallas trip, I think, pretty.
Success. Success. We didn't make as much as we thought we would, but that was kind of. I'm not saying that was out of our control. Really, we should have planned better. What happened was we weren't able to get to all the stores that we wanted to get to. So we left at I think it was about 6:50 in the morning. We wanted to leave at 5. I know we said that didn't happen. I literally set I wanted to get up and leave by 5, and I set my alarm for 5. So I know
Yeah,
it's genius.
that's
But
called planning to fail.
yeah, yeah. At least we didn't fail to plan. So anyway, we left then and we got over there. I guess it takes about 3 hours. So we got over there about I think it was about 10 o'clock by the time we got there. So we started hitting stores. We hit probably 3 or 4. Ate lunch. Probably took a little longer than we needed to there. About an hour. Got back out at the stores. Went to Starbucks and got some coffee, went back out to the stores, and by that time it was about 3 o'clock. And what was going to take us 10 minutes, say, from these stores were, some of them are 3-4 miles apart. And what we thought was going to take us 10 minutes ended up taking us 20, 25 minutes to get, from from store to store, and that really screwed us up on the time part of it because we had to get back home. We had to get back on the road by like 6 or 7 that evening.
Yeah.
So we had to cut a lot of it short. But that's another thing. That's something we will take into account next time is we will only hit, the high quantity stores because time is going to be of the essence.
Yeah, you really don't know. Like you can type in like when I'm in a Walmart and like I find the next Walmart. Like I can type it in, but it says okay, 10 minutes away, but I gotta walk to my car. I gotta get out of the parking lot, and then I gotta get on the road, get into the next Walmart's parking lot, find a spot, walk in the store, and it's like you don't. It takes usually double the time than you really think it does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really tough to hit that many stores. I mean, it wouldn't seem like it, but
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah, and it was only I'm trying to remember now how many stores it was that we were hitting. There it was supposed to be about a total of 44 or 46 unicorns, and we ended up getting 18, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the stores had about 4 apiece. So I think it was about 10 or so, 10 or 13, something like that, stores that we're supposed to hit. Here's the funny thing. I don't even think I told you this yet, but we went back to a store that we had already hit. and the first time we went through the front of the store. So, and I'm not familiar with Dallas, so I didn't, all these stores look about the same, with traffic and all. And we went through the front the first time, and we pulled around to the back. And we almost got hit too, by the way. We were in a panel van, so you can't see. And we were pulling across this thing, and I see this car. I was like, "Holy crap!" But so I walk in the store, and I'm walking around. And I'm like, "Man, this store is almost the exact same layout as the store we were in earlier." And I walked past the garden section. They had this like Bud Light. Elaborate Bud Light display above something. It just had like this Dallas Cowboys sign, and then another little thing that was just I'd never seen them before, and I was like, man, that'd be weird if they set that up at all the stores. And I start looking for the toys, and I'm like, crap, I can't find any unicorns. I'm like, okay, I can't find any other toy I was looking for. And then the other toy I was looking for, I was like, daggum. And I was like, son of a bitch. I'm in the same store I've already hit.
That is funny.
Yeah. So that again, we will. And I was even marking them off. I had a little checklist. I just printed Brickseek off.
How'd you end up back at that store?
I have no idea. So what we did was we put it in on Google Maps, every store address. And we just made every other store the next via point or whatever. And somehow, when I sent it to my phone, it showed. It didn't show it like that. It just showed basically all those stores in the recent searches. So I was just going down the list, and apparently I hit.
That's painful.
Yeah.
That's painful. The worst thing about that, like I just hate.
It wasted an hour.
Yeah. And it's like man, like that's just like the worst part is because it wastes an hour of your time that you could have been at a different store.
Actually picking up product that I hadn't already had in the van.
Yeah. That's funny. That is funny.
I mean, it's something that would happen to me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't think I told you that, but
you didn't.
That happened.
That was great, though.
Yeah. So tell us about the printers that we talked about on the last podcast. I think you found them, or I know you were talking about them on the last podcast that this guy was wanting, if I remember correctly, $40 for 24 laser printers that all had toner in them.
Yeah. So what? And he's still messaging me, but he had these.
For the people that didn't listen to the last podcast, go ahead and just go through give a quick rundown of the story.
So I will actually give you a picture of it. So these are actually the printers that this person was selling,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, and one of the problems that you know, could I make money on it? Yeah, 100%. Like I'd make money on these. I don't know how long it would take me to make it, but I could make money on these printers. But two things.
Why do you say that? You say that like there's something wrong with them, or there's something that you didn't know about.
Well, here's the thing with electronics. So there's two things that I don't like about that picture. Number one, they're all dirty, and generally things such as printers, desktop computers, they have vents, they have fans. You know, anything that can get inside these machines is just you're just asking for issues. What and stuff that you would have to probably take the casing off, clean it, get it, and then test it, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really like the condition of the printers, even though I could probably deal with it, right? I could, it's not that I could probably clean
For
it
a
off,
dollar 67 a piece.
right? Exactly. So the second thing that I didn't like was he had no power cords for any of them. So when I
Not even one.
not even one.
Mm.
So when I ask him, I say, "Hey, do you have the power cords, or do these work?" And when they immediately say, "Yeah, they work, no problem," and then I find out that there's no power cords,
Mm.
it's like, what's going on, And this guy, other hat, he had to be out of this house, that night, and so it's weird. It just didn't seem right. And some of the comps on eBay,
Well,
in
let's go.
order to,
Let's recap. He told you messaged him at like 9:30 or something the night we were doing the podcast, and you said that you were wanting to meet him in the morning, and he said, "I don't know if I have him in the morning. I have to be out of my house by tonight."
yeah, yeah. And so he sorry, my dogs are going crazy. He said that he had to be out at that, he had to be out of the house. He wasn't at the house at the time, and I don't know if he was being kicked out of the house, but somebody wanting me to come pick them up at their house at 10 o'clock, and the picture showed the printers in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh,
it just didn't, it looked like they were in a storage unit.
yeah.
It could have been a garage with no drywall. That could have been the
It
case
was
too.
what the likelihood was that that picture was where he bought them from.
Could be, yeah. And
Is
that
what I would have
it's
thought.
right, and you're probably right about that. But I didn't like. I don't know if they were like color laser jet with scanners and all kinds of stuff. I'd totally go for it. But they're black and white printers. They're Dell. They're really really common. It's just I don't think it would have been worth the amount of space it would have taken up.
Okay, so the main issue here is space. I mean, had you had an abundance of space,
Yeah. Okay. So
would you?
if I had like a warehouse, or if I had a
Hmm.
storage unit, yeah. I mean, $40. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been nothing, and I could have let them sit at the warehouse, sit at the storage unit for as long as they needed to sit. Pick one up when I sold one, no big deal.
Hmm.
I probably could have done that, but
Work on one when you feel like it.
yeah.
Yeah. The point that they don't have any power cords,
Mm.
that's what would worry me. Like, what situation would warrant them all having their power cords taken away?
Yeah, that's true. Um, Everything okay? Okay. Sorry, my garage door just decided to open. And sometimes with the wind, like if we don't shut it right, it opens.
Oh, I thought you meant your garage door, like the
No.
door from
Door
your
to the
garage to
garage.
the inside. Okay, I
Uh,
was like, that is not good.
that always happens. It actually happened the other day, and it set off our home alarm. Like
Oh,
I get an alert on my phone, and it's like your phone's going off, and I immediately check my cameras, and nothing's going on, but I hear like sirens going off.
That happened when we were staying at your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We came down and we sourced for a week or so, and you were at work and your wife was at work, and we would come back to the house during the day, and I
Yeah.
remember the door, like the alarm, like some kind of noise went off or something, and the garage door was like, oh, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's weird. It's just the way it's, I don't know, it's just the way it's built. But
Yeah.
anyway, so this one just didn't I don't know. There's something about it that I
Seemed
didn't
like
like
too
it.
much of a hassle
Yeah,
to deal with everything else going on.
it could have really been like,
Give him my number, by the way. I'm gonna come pick those up.
yeah, right. But I mean, it could have been worse. I don't know. That's one of those things that kicks me. It's like there's no risk in it.
Yeah.
More of just a pain in the ass. like it could turn into a pain in the ass, and it's like
Man,
kind of like buying like 5,000 books.
6,000. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one day too. Holy shit. Yeah, I bought 6,000 books my first month of doing reselling eBay and Amazon. Yeah, yeah. From a barn, mind you. Not climate controlled, not humidity controlled. Not anyway, we'll go into that later. But I think the printers, I think you should go for it, to be honest. I know that space, would be a little bit of a constraint, but what I would do personally is I would get the printers and I would go on eBay and I would just look up Dell, whatever model parts, and I would pick the highest part price on there, with the solds, and just pull that part out of every printer and scrap them.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
I'm sure there's a motor in there. There's something in there that is prohibitively expensive to replace.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually, I mean, that's really not a bad idea. I think, again, just not in room for it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It pains me to even say that, because you don't want to pass up money, but
I don't ever want to hear about these printers again. I seriously don't want to hear any whining when, in a couple months you go, shit, I should have bought those printers. I could have made so much money on them. They were $1.67. Aaron told me I was an idiot, but I never listened to him. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that too. You never listen to anything I say.
That is a fact.
Until like way later.
That is a fact.
And then you do it, on your own volition.
I have to give it like 6 months before I.
Then it turns into your idea. How does that work in your head?
And it's like, hey, dude, man, you won't believe this impact sealer I found.
Yeah. or man, have you used honey? Holy crap!
This eBay thing, you would not believe it.
Shit, have you ever gotten a Better Pack tape machine before? They're amazing.
So, I think, Facebook Marketplace, I love buying on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Because, if you're a serious buyer, you can really make some money. Because you can always count on. Well, so, pretty much 9 out of 10 of my deals I make on Facebook Marketplace, we'd never come to agreement at first. Like,
the guy with the printers was Facebook Marketplace, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we never, I never come to agreement at first. And so it's mainly like, okay, well, let me find out what their bottom dollar is. So,
I need you to turn that on silent.
I'm dealing with a guy right now. He's got a bunch of DJ equipment. He wanted $4,000 for it. And I said, that $4,000 is a lot for what you've got there. And he says, okay, well, maybe let's settle on 3,000, and you can come by and look at it and test it. And I mean, literally, if it takes 2 minutes for him to drop $1,000, he can go lower. So, I told him, I said, hey, look, 3,000 is still too much. I'll offer you $2,000 cash. I can pick it up in an hour. And then I always say, if you ever get to that level, call me and I'll come pick it up. Because, it eliminates the don't be an asshole lowballer, you know?
Yeah.
Like if it was like if I replied to him said, "No, I can only do 2,000." That comes off as a lowballer, you know? But
So
if I
you
say,
just basically by saying, "Hey, if you change your mind, if something comes up, if circumstances change,
yeah,
and you are willing to accept my offer,
yeah,
lowball offer, then call me."
yeah. And so and I mean 9 times out of 10 it works. They'll be like, "Hey man, you know, a week or 2 weeks later, they'll be like, "Hey man, do you still want this stuff?" And then
Yeah.
it's like, "Okay, you
Well, I
know."
mean, they were selling it for a reason. There was a need. They needed some money or whatever. They needed some space. That's not going to go away if they don't sell it. You know, so they're still going to need that. They're just going to have to take a little bit of hit to their pride or take a little hit to what they thought they were going to put in their bank account, you know.
True, and there's really not there's not a whole lot of people that professionally sell on Facebook Marketplace. So generally there's two main reasons. One, I need money and I need it in a hurry, or two, this stuff is really inconveniencing me and I
Yeah,
need to
so
get rid of it.
basically exactly what I just said because apparently you weren't
But
listening.
I said it a lot better than you did,
Different.
but better, I think.
Different. So, um, what are your what other Facebook Marketplace tips do you have, if any, or is that kind of
So
what you
set
got?
set alerts on your phone. So you can actually set keyword alerts on
Really?
your phone. So if anytime a listing with VCR is posted, you get a notification.
Oh, nice. That would be helpful.
So you know anytime like stereo, you type in stereo or amplifier or you know Pokemon, whatever you want. You know, anytime that word is used in a title, you get a notification
Within Marketplace.
within the marketplace. Yep. So
Hopefully, you're not getting them just through Facebook and help. I mean, if you typed Pokemon,
no, 100%, 100% marketplace.
yeah.
But you know, so it gives you. It looks like Facebook Marketplace was updated. It looks a little bit different.
Huh. What are your tips, if any, on buying, like physically going and meeting the person? Do you meet them in a specific spot? I know, you know, some of our viewers aren't male, so you know sometimes security is a concern. You know, do you meet them? You know, I know some people say they meet them at a sheriff station or at a a grocery store, wherever, somewhere that there's lights and cameras and stuff like that.
So there's actually, and I haven't seen it in Houston, but in Dallas, there are designated meeting areas. One of them was like at a quick trip, I think it was, and off to the side there's a pole with a sign that says it's like designated meeting area or something, and three cameras.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So you can actually like look this up at whatever city you're in if they have these places. So you park right there where those cameras are, and everything's videotaped, everything's secure.
Wow, that's cool.
It's very cool. But if you don't, you know, if you don't have access to that, very rarely do I ever have somebody like come to my house to get
Never.
something.
I would never have somebody come to my house.
Unless like I had a preacher come. I looked at his you know his Facebook profile and you know, I made, you know, he came by at that point, but I always use a gas station.
Do
Um,
you always look up the person? Like, do you try to always look at their
yep,
profile?
always. Yep. And there's been times where, you know, do you remember those Klipsch speakers? So this guy was selling these Klipsch speakers and it
Yeah,
looked like he took the picture from a hotel room.
yeah.
They were, yeah. So, I mean, it's like right off the bat, not good vibes. And so, you know, I look at the profile picture and I see, you know, drug use. I see just terrible things on this Facebook. Uh, and you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm just not gonna do it.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's profiling, but it's not really profiling. I mean, you got to get over, like, when your safety is concerned, you got to get over all that political correctness bullshit.
Yeah,
You know, if somebody looks like a criminal, they're probably a criminal. You know,
Probably. I mean,
you can
literally.
try to not hurt people's feelings all day long. You don't have to tell them that's not why you're going to meet up with them. You know, something else came up. You know, I'm not interested in your product, whatever. But you know, I think that's a very good point. Is look and see who you're going to buy from or who's buying from you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, and especially for women. I mean, it's got to be tough. It's
Yeah.
got to be tough. But like, if it is, I would 100% advocate going to a sheriff's, some government building, city, usually the city council, city hall,
Courthouse or something.
courthouse. Like, there's always cops around,
Yeah.
and who cares about convenience? But if you're not comfortable,
Yeah.
because literally anybody, preacher or not, whatever, it doesn't matter what the occupation is, people can lie about what
Yeah.
they can have a completely fake profile page, saying that they're, a preacher or a school teacher or something. And it ends
Just
up
for people on
exactly
Marketplace or something. Yeah.
just to target people. So, I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of.
So basically, if something seems sketchy, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. If the deal seems too good, if they seem like they're giving you, I mean, that applies to everything. If you're buying from somebody on eBay, from somebody on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, if a deal seems too good to be true, and there's no circumstances that warrant that, like, this guy getting kicked out of his house or whatever happened. Like, if there's no good story, most likely something's about to happen, and you're going to show up with money.
It's not worth it.
And they're showing up with opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just really not worth it. It really is not. It's really not. So just you got to do your research.
Yeah.
But it's extremely rare that people come by the house. Extremely rare. And you don't want people knowing where you live.
No, for many reasons. There's a lot of crazy people out there.
Oh, dude, yeah. Read the news.
Yeah, I know you of all people love crazy people.
I do.
You constantly are showing some kind of video to us or something.
Showed you one today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would describe that video, but it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do need to wrap it up relatively soon.
Okay. We got a couple more things. Let's talk about eBay for beginners such as ourselves. So I actually, my mentor in this business, actually, the guy that showed me about Amazon FBA and eBay and such. We were talking one day and I said something about eBay sold listings, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "You don't know about eBay sold listings?" He said, "No. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Man, you gotta be you're kidding me, right?" No. So anyway, eBay sold listings, and I showed him, and he was blown away. He's like, "Holy cow! I've been doing this for a long time. Did not know there was such thing as sold listing." And I would assume that a lot of new eBay sellers don't know this, but on eBay, when you search an item, say you go to the store and you find a Sharp calculator, and you see the model number, EL, blah, 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 blah. Well, you can type that into eBay, and on the left-hand side, you can go down and you can click sold listings. There's completed and sold. A completed listing is any listing that has sold or ended without selling. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Complete.
Any sold listing is any completed listing that actually got sold.
Correct. It was paid for.
Okay. So you can go and you can click on that, and it will actually show you the dates and the items or the listings that actually sold. So you can go, there's a number of things you can do with that. You can see, one, is this item worth it at the price that it's being sold at in this store or wherever it's at? Two, you can see how frequently this item is sold. And it's probably one of the most invaluable tools. I wish that Amazon had something like this. They've got their Keep It charts and stuff like that, but that eBay sold listings are literally the easiest way to make money.
Yeah, because even Keepa, if you don't know what Keepa is, it's it kind of charts the fluctuations of sales ranks and a bunch of other stuff. But generally with Keepa, you kind of have to, you know, count the dips
Yeah.
where, I mean, and then who knows, who knows what caused that dip? Most likely a sale.
Yeah.
Something else could have, something else could happen. But with the eBay sold listings, like you can count. Okay, we sell 1, 2, 3 every single week, and the the downside is you can only go back 90 days. But
Yeah.
still, like if you're selling a letter opener and you click sold and you only see one, that means this thing has only sold once in 90 days. So it better be cheap if you're buying.
Yeah. And oh, another thing too, I was gonna say about eBay sold listings is that if you see a listing, and there's another thing too. It's called eBay popularity sort. I just saw this on someone else's podcast the other day, but it will actually show the most popular sold listings. So it'll bring up the listings that have sold like 2 and 300. And what I'll do is I'll go on that listing. I'll click on the listing, and there's one that says sell item like this, or sell like this, or sell similar. You just click on that. It puts in all the information. It fills out almost all the templates. It fills out all the templates that they have filled out to make their listing, and you just add your photos, and you can make tweaks to the title and stuff. But that is probably the easiest way, I would say. That's what I do. I don't know about you, Jeff. Is that how you
Yeah.
make your listings?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used the popularity filter, but I think the main thing when determining pricing is, you check your sold listings, you remove the outliers. So you remove the one that sold for super, super high and remove the one that sold super, super low. And you just kind of get that average, and, play it by ear. But, you know, one of the things that has been, proven, and we've had this, we've sold the same. We sold a stroller, and
Highest ROI to date,
we made so much
I
money on
think.
strollers. But um, when you first, like, say if I, we'll go back to letter openers. Let's say I have like 15 of these, and there's a bunch of other people selling the same thing. Like, you need to get some sales on this listing to improve your search
Yes.
results. So, if it's good, yeah, I have these on there. I have 15 of them, but if I haven't sold any, eBay is going to push that listing down.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times what I like to do is I'll kind of sacrifice some profit on like 2 or 3 of them, get them sold, and that way it'll help my
When you
list
say sacrifice some profit, you're just dropping your price
drop the
below the
price
normal market value, or the average price on eBay.
so I can get some sales
Yeah.
and get that listing, you know, get some visibility on it. So
Yeah. And this is all stuff that if you don't learn, you can go years without knowing. Just one little tip that could skyrocket your game.
yep,
The sold listings. I was surprised that he didn't know about it. I was
that's great.
blown away that he didn't know about it. But it's something that you wouldn't know about. You know, you wouldn't know about it if you've been selling, or if you've been doing this for a while, or if you're new. You know, you're either stuck in your ways, or you don't know the way.
Yep, that's exactly right. It really is. And I think, just when
When I say stuck in your ways, I mean you've been selling, you know,
you don't know
you've
better.
been doing good, so there's no reason to question or to change things.
And that happens a lot. Like, it's like, hey, I'm doing, everything's working. Why should I change it? But there's so many other things that you kind of
Why should I buy retail product at the retail price to sell during Q4? That's
exactly.
stupid. That sounds like a good way to lose money.
Yep. So yeah,
Those were exact words, I believe.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we could quote that.
Yeah. Mm.
One of the other things that, um, when it comes to eBay power seller levels, top rated, they've come out with a new concierge service.
I've heard about that. What is that? I guess you're gonna
Yes,
tell us.
it's actually really cool. Like everybody that went to eBay Open um, is going to get access to, is going to have concierge service in September. And so essentially what that means is when you dial the phone number, you get rerouted to completely different than anybody else. So you get rerouted to, I believe it was Utah. I think there's a call center in Utah where it's like eBay's best of the best. They're the ones that handle the, if you have like an anchor store, um, super high volume sellers, um, that you can get this concierge service. So when you call, someone immediately picks up the phone, and a lot of times it's U.S. based, and that's what they state. I haven't, I don't have it just yet,
Yeah.
but next month I will. And they say it's U.S. based service. So one of the things that I really encourage the people that are kind of getting into eBay or even has been to eBay Open next year, go, because there's so much stuff that you learn that you didn't know, and you get perks like the concierge service.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked about that.
Yeah, we're going next year. We didn't this year just because, the way things were going. That month was horrible for us. Probably one of the worst months in our selling career, this thus far. So we couldn't make it. But yeah, we're gonna go. But talk a little bit more about that concierge service. So it's gonna be something that you can pay for, or
Now, no, it's not something that
so it's only for eBay Open people,
and like
top sellers.
top sellers. So if you look at the different like store levels, like you have like basic, pro,
Right.
whatever, blah blah blah, and then you have anchor. If you look at what that anchor store gets, they get dedicated phone support, which is their concierge service.
Aren't they like? Isn't an anchor store like $1,000 a month or something? Isn't it?
It's close. I don't know. I know it's at least $300 a month. I don't know.
Three. Okay. Yeah. I don't know where I got a
Yeah,
thousand.
I know it's. I want to say it's around $300 a month, but
I
if you
think
look
you
on
may be
there,
right.
it says dedicated phone support. And the great thing about that, man, is like I've dealt with
I don't
that.
think you have to explain that.
That's true, but just think, dedicated
Huh.
U.S. phone support. Yeah, it's big.
Well, really, I mean, we might as well explain it because some people might not know. They may have never called eBay. I've only called eBay a couple times, but usually, and I know you like the phone support, especially when you get banned for something, suspended
Yes.
for something.
We'll
I
talk about
I
that's a
hear
great
I
topic.
yeah, I've heard that you rave about that, but um, just being able to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, talk to somebody that speaks your language, literally, is it's awesome. I know I saw an Instagram post earlier, and it was a screenshot of their phone screen. And they were on a call, and it was an hour and 37 minutes. And they said they
Yeah,
were calling eBay, and it said, I haven't talked to anybody yet.
yeah, yeah. Isn't that crazy? I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the things that's really cool is that you know you get help for like listing help. If you have like questions about you know just anything regarding listings, like they
This is
help.
the concierge, or this
Yeah,
is eBay Open?
yeah. No,
Okay.
but like promotional, stuff, and then of course like fraud. That's the one of the biggest things is like, so if you get like a fraudulent return or something, you can actually talk to somebody that really speaks your language,
Yeah.
literally. um, and they seem to be a lot more helpful as opposed to, and there's nothing against the folks in the Philippines or whatever, but they have a
There's a language barrier.
well, it's not, it's that, and they have extremely strict like guidelines.
Yeah.
They can't veer no matter how you try to explain it. They can't veer from what the policy states, and that's just what they do. This the policy
So you might
says.
as well be talking to a robot.
Exactly, exactly. And so,
Yeah. Yeah, I know that you have gotten suspended several times. And every time that you got suspended and tried to appeal it or tried to, and several of them, a couple of them, I think you were in the wrong as far as just something going outside of the restrictions of what you're supposed to list or
And
whatever.
just to clarify, we're talking about gun parts, so we're not talking about something illegal.
Yeah, like dildos or
Yeah,
right. Yeah. That was
well,
last episode. Sorry, and they're not illegal.
that's coming to an eBay store near you.
Yeah, but what it is, we're not going to say what the actual gun was, but your parts were not really associated with that gun. Um, just they weren't. But to somebody like you said that has to stick exactly to that script and exactly within those parameters that are set by eBay, you know, they couldn't deviate, especially on something that could had you talked them into it or had if somebody was nefarious and wanted to do that and list something wrong, they could
Yeah,
if they had the
I
power
get it.
to
That's another one of those things where, man, I really wish I had that concierge.
at that time. Yeah.
Because one thing I did discover, and it's something that's pretty valuable, is the eBay for Business Facebook page. If you haven't liked that, please do, because you can message them and you'll get a U.S. support answer. It may take a while, but
So
it
you can
actually,
use Facebook Messenger to message them.
yeah. And that's how I got one of my violations removed. Was that I actually finally I emailed them through that, and they actually took a look at my account and took a look at the listing. And they're like, okay, that wasn't right. And
So you tried to call and email and all that stuff, and none of that worked, and you went
I
to
couldn't get
Facebook
anybody in the
Messenger.
U.S. I couldn't get anybody in the U.S. But that Facebook for Business is U.S. based,
Yeah.
and that's all it took. And then they
Yeah, I have seen that their posts, and this was months ago, but I remember seeing, and I don't remember what the post was that they made, but the comment section
oh,
was like,
destroyed.
oh, it was like a war zone.
They get destroyed.
Because it's basically just all these people that get so frustrated and they've been trying to call and email and stuff and nobody's helping them, nobody's getting them, getting them the answers that they want and need, so they see an opportunity to talk to eBay, and bam, man, they went for the jugular.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty interesting how that plays out. There's people that they get pretty up in arms about it.
Yeah. So I guess the last thing on our agenda really is the time management, and I don't know if by that you meant me talking about time management in Dallas, or if you meant time management as far as working at a work at home entrepreneur.
God, that could encompass a lot.
Yeah.
But listen, let's keep it to like, when you're outsourcing, you know, like one of the things that that I try to do as best I can is, I mean, I try to hustle. Like when I'm in the store, it's just go 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 go. Like it's not, you can't just kind of stroll through and like, oh look, they got microwaves on sale. Like it'll just ruin it. Like you have to go in there with a business mindset. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm going to do. If it's there, great. If it's not, boom, next, I'm out. So, when we actually did some sourcing, I think on that same day, I think it was a Thursday, we were going to Walmart's and, looking for the toys, and it was just boom, right, one right after another, and I had my wife and my mom with me. We were driving around, and we took my mom along with us just kind of so she could see what we do. And it it was like the second I got out of the car, it was like boom, let's go basket, we're going. And they're way behind me, but you have to have like that. You gotta set that pace and just keep going, or else you get lost, and it's usually the first store. You go to
Yeah.
that first store and you're there way too long, and it
Yeah.
just you know the longer you're there, the less stores you're gonna hit.
Yeah. So if you don't find the product you're looking for, and you've gone down every aisle and you've looked at every top stock product, which is all the product that you're not really that you can't reach, or that short people can't reach, I guess. All the product that is reserved for when the shelf is empty. All that product up top is what they replenish that with.
Yeah.
So if you go through all those and you don't see what you're looking for, go to the next store.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll stop. I'll ask an employee if I see if they've got one of the scanners in their hands. I'll stop by and say, "Hey, can you throw this in your scanner and see what it shows?"
Yeah.
Um,
Do you give them the
and
UPC, or how do you usually do that?
usually give them the UPC or the Walmart SKU number. But 9 times out of 10, you're just not going to get much help there. But and you're just not. But yeah, I mean, if they don't have it, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Go
Move on.
get in the car and go to the next one. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just in other episodes we can talk about time management at home. Like I have a big issue with sometimes if I don't put things on a list, I'll have 5 things to do and I'll get none of it done.
It's
Whereas
funny. I feel like if somebody told you about that,
I think I came up with it,
and
but
later on you did it.
I think I might
Well,
have came up with that myself.
yeah, you
But
probably did. You probably did.
but
But I mean, time management really, whether you're a stay-at-home entrepreneur or whether you have a full-time job and you just do this part-time, at night, whenever, really, I would say it's probably more important if you're a stay-at-home because that's your income,
yeah,
So if you're not moving in this business, in any small business that you own by yourself, you better be moving or you're not making money. The it was said, a while back that if you're not growing, you're reverting. There's no steady state in life. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's no maintaining. It doesn't happen. It's not a thing. We like to think that we're can stay stagnant, stay maintaining, but we're not. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. You
yeah,
may not notice it, how much better or how much worse, but it's going one way or the other. So, you know,
yeah. And you get in ruts, and you just gotta plan it out. I
that's
mean,
another thing we're going to talk about is ruts and mental ruts and the loneliness of staying at home and doing this stuff. It's great most of the time, but sometimes the dogs don't want to talk to me anymore. It's they
dogs are
have they've
tiring.
had enough. At the end of the day, my cousin runs an IT company, and he told me at the beginning of this business he said, "Okay, when you start doing this on your own, when you quit your job and you do this full time," he said, "when Amanda comes home at night, he said you're going to talk her ear off." I said, "No, no, that's just not who I am. That's not what I'm going to do." You know, 6 months in, sure enough, she comes home, and I'm sure she's just like, "Shut up." She's a supportive wife, so she entertains me. But I find myself just talking and talking and talking for like 35, 40 minutes, and it's about nothing. But it's because I haven't talked to anybody all day. I hadn't had any human contact.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Funny. I can imagine.
it's weird. It's something you don't think about.
Yeah.
But I guess that concludes our time for episode 4.
Yeah, I think it's been on about an hour.
No idea. No idea. I think this one was better. Yeah, actually, golly, we're at 1 hour and 1 minute now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Time management.
time management, perfect. We did that on purpose. It's better. It was better than 3. 3 was better than 2.
Yeah.
Better than 1. So,
Everything's better than one.
we're getting there. One day we can actually put some of these out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, cool, man.
Well,
Have a
I
good
guess
night.
you have fun getting up in the morning.
Yeah, we're not
What
gonna
time?
just in 6 hours.
Is that it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
6 hours? Yeah, 5
hours. But it'll
5:30.
take me 30 minutes to go to bed. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'll call you in the
You're
morning.
going to be late.
No, do not call me in the morning. Absolutely not.
I'll call in just to check on you.
No thanks. All right, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Ah.